I want to get first comments about what you all thought about this rally. The Trinamool Congress is not officially participating in defending its record, but Mr. Banerjee is there as a lawyer and a sympathizer. So, Mr. Banerjee, how do we understand who is Mamata Banerjee taking out a rally against? Because all of this has been handled by institutions under the control of the state government, be it the college itself, be it the principal who was not sacked, instead he was transferred to another college till the court intervened and ensured that he was sacked, be it the police, which comes under the state government, law and order comes under the state government. So what was this rally all about? I mean, who is she taking this rally out against, Mr. Banerjee?
Well, Barkha, you will appreciate that since the beginning, rather, the moment it came to the notice of the Chief Minister of West Bengal that such an incident happened while she was in Jhargram, far away place from Kolkata, immediately took step, and within 5 hours, one person was arrested. Now you will appreciate in such a heinous crime which took place at the dead of night, it cannot be solved and it cannot be unearthed immediately or within 24 hours. Question is this: immediately you will also appreciate the much before the court said regarding CBI. The Chief Minister demanded that we want that the most strongest punishment, rather, if not possible, we demand hanging of the actual culprit. It was demanded much before it was taken up by the court. Even before the court, the Chief Minister submitted that if CBI is demanded, we do not have any objection. That was there. Now, the question, as you said, that 7 days time was asked for. Insofar as that, I would submit that when the proceeding or an investigation was going on with utmost abruptness, it wanted some time so that they can arrest some more people. Because
according to you, Mr. Banerjee, nothing has been mishandled by the state government, not even its protection, not even its protection of a man called Sandeep Ghosh, today questioned by the CBI, a man who blamed the victim, a woman who was dead and raped. He blamed the victim. The hospital lied. The hospital lied to the family about it being a suicide. Then there was renovation, which is suspected to be evidence tampering. And then this man was not sacked. He was just transferred to another college. Are you saying that nothing wrong has happened? Nothing wrong has happened?
No, I never say. I never say so. I never say so.
Yes.
Okay. Immediately, thing is you have a wide experience that whenever any incident take place anywhere, the person concerned who was at the helm of the institution or otherwise, he is immediately shifted. It's not that, because unless and until the connection or the antecedents are known, no one can be punished. He was shifted. He was sacked from that hospital and subsequently transferred to elsewhere. It is welcomed that the court has said that no, he should go to compulsory leave. No doubt. No problem. And once more, repeatedly we are saying neither the party nor the government has ever said that we are not ashamed of this incident. No such incident should take place anywhere in the country. Question is, this has been done. Is after the incident, the uproar which has come, it's politically motivated. Now, Barkha, I can share you my personal experience.
Okay. One second, sir. 1 second. You have said, you have made the point that it's politically motivated, and I want to open this up, and then we'll come back to your personal experience, because I want to bring in Dr. Shatarupa, Rimjim, and Dr. Goswami. Dr. Shatarupa, the Chief Minister of West Bengal, you can see, is leading her own rally today. Her colleagues like Mahua Moitra have come out, and they have said that there's a lot of fake news, doing the rounds, and she has blamed the left and the right, Ram and Bam, of joining hands. She says your party and the left party are responsible for sending the mob to attack the protesting doctors. How do you respond?
Firstly, it's a pleasure doing a show with you, because you correctly answer. It's always been a pleasure doing a show with you.
Thank you.
Barkha, the first question you asked kind of sums up the entire show. who is Mamata Bannerjee taking a rally against? Because she is the chief minister, she is the police minister. Police have been a complete failure, and in fact, you have the commissioner of police coming and breaking down in front of media and saying media is at fault, and he's absolutely holier than thou. He has even gone in called a press conference to say that he has very limited resources. So the police minister obviously has not been able to provide resources to her police department. You have Mamata Banerjee as the health minister, who has not provided basic amenities to the health centers, so to say, the doctors. The hospitals. All we have seen are fantastically painted blue and white entrances. The equipments are not there. Forget the equipments. The men and women, doctors who are on duty, do not have proper places to rest. Like on-call rooms, what you would find in AIMS or any other big hospital all over the country. They don't have that. There was no CCTV on that particular floor. So our question is only this much, that which of these three multiple personalities that one woman has is she taking a procession out for? Here you have a chief minister who, contrary to her basic character, who's been constantly, dismissing rape incidents in extremely insensitive comments, she suddenly thinks she's an astute politician. You have to agree. She's so intelligent. She quickly runs to the parents early in the morning and pleads with them that, well, your daughter has gone. Why don't you take some compensation? And this is not what the BJP is saying, mind you. Her parents have gone on record in front of camera, and they're saying that your previous speaker was saying this is all politically motivated. Which part of it is politically motivated? When we are asking through your cameras, different media channels is showing that the police, basic things like when there is a murder. I am no Sherlock Holmes, I am no great detective, but basic, you have a white outline, chalk outline or paint outline across a longer line of the dead body. We have not seen that. Today in the afternoon, we saw CBI sending its forensic team to the site, which probably has broken down. There's probably no other medical evidence because, coming back to your question, let me just finish one or two things in between. The crime scene was not secured. The people on duty, a crime which has happened after 2 o'clock, and the body which was discovered in the early hours, in the span of 6 hours, there would be people on duty. No doctor, no nurse, no attendant, no grade 4 staff was picked up for questioning by the police. If they were secretly questioned, we don't know. Now, coming to your question, that what this gentleman is saying, why was this entire mob on rampage in Arjikot? Who are they trying to protect? If it was BJP or any other,
ma'am, who do you believe sent the mob? Because Mamata Banerjee has blamed. I can't hear you, ma'am.
Statement. Yeah, I think you people put off my mic for some reason.
No, now we can hear. Now we can hear you.
Yeah, no, it's a very straight answer. Who would benefit from disrupting an otherwise peaceful gathering which was all over Calcutta, Bengal, and greater parts of India, even beyond India? Who would benefit from disrupting this kind of a peaceful, gathering everywhere? Now, the point here is, can you hear me?
Yes, please. We can hear you. We can hear you.
Now, the only question that I'm asking is it fair to blame the people who were agitating? We were all, yes, we had our own political agendas throughout the afternoon, but in the night, everybody was there, rater dakhol karo, over the whole agenda of women being on the streets at night. That was disrupted. Okay. Every effort was made to eat up media space by this rampage. Number one. Number two. Last point. Just one second. This rampage was entirely deliberated to wipe off whatever remains of evidence that there was. These people went up to the third floor. Why? Why would you want to attack a hospital and ruin a hospital? Which political
Okay.
party would do
Then,
that?
okay, now, Mr. Banerjee, I know you have things to say, but I have to go to my other guests. So please, Dr. Shatrupa has made a lot of points. Now, Mahua Moitra of the Trinamool Congress today questioned the theory that semen samples seem to point to a gang rape. This is a point, Dr. Goswami, you would remember you had made on one of our previous shows. So it's very important to talk about it. I'm just going to play out this clip of Mahua Moitra. Take a look.
There is a figure of 150 grams of bodily fluids being floated around by responsible media. The first thing to remember is that the autopsy, the post-mortem, was carried out in the presence of a judicial magistrate, in the presence of 3 doctors as witnesses, and in the presence of the family. The entire procedure was videographed. It was not possible to tamper with anything. In any autopsy or post-mortem, the weight and situation of each particular organ is commented upon, like the liver, the heart. Similarly, in this case, the inner and outer genitalia was the comment on that. The total weight of the inner and outer genitalia was something close to 150 grams. Number one, bodily fluids are measured in milliliters, not in grams. This was the total weight of the internal viscera of the reproductive organs. It has nothing to do with any amount of bodily fluids found.
So, Dr. Goswami, I want to actually bring this point to you because you have been among those who have made this point that the semen samples point to a possible gang rape and that the police and the authorities have not even acknowledged that possibility. You've seen the rebuttal. Now they say the autopsy does not talk about any such thing. You have previously said that you have had a chance to meet with the family. I know that the family in its petition in the High Court has also mentioned this. I know you said that you had seen the autopsy. What do you say now?
Yeah, there is.
Could we? Yeah, go ahead.
Yes,
Sir.
I have seen the autopsy reports from the family. Actually, the victim's father showed us rather. We were 7 doctors. We showed the reports. It is there is wide, thick, viscid fluid present inside the endocervical canal that was collected, and weight was 151 gram. That was written. Maybe definitely that was written in the external journal, but it was not clearly written that whether it includes the entire uterus or not. But usually normal uterus, weight of normal uterus, it doesn't match with that. But there is, I have, you see, the autopsy surgeons, neither the autopsy surgeons nor with the medical persons can exactly say that it was gang rape. I have already said, actually, with the doctors' organizations, we consulted among ourselves, and there is every possibility of a gang rape. You cannot rule it out. That's
yes,
it.
but they are questioning the semen samples. 1 minute.
One minute. Clearly loud. We have never said it was a gang rape. It is the police's onus to prove it. You cannot rule out a gang rape. There is every possibility of being a gang rape that we from the autopsy report we
yes. But what do you say on this specific? Because the police commissioner has also debunked
that can be the what Mahua Moitra said. That can, if the autopsy surgeons can confirm whether this is true or not. Now the CBI will confirm. But it appeared to us that you cannot. There is every possibility of a gang rape. You cannot rule it out.
But do you think? But could you explain? Do you think you had the wrong information on the semen samples, or do you think it's about the interpretation of the fluid?
Interpretation. It's interpretation. It's interpretation. You can interpretation. You can interpret it to be including that is not written, but it can be including the uterus.
Okay. Before I come to got it. So you're saying you don't know. It's for the police to say whether who should say this, because so far we have been seeing media reports. Dr. Shatrupa, you wanted to come in on
forensic experts and the forensic lab report and forensic lab report.
I have to go to Rimjim. Dr. Shatrupa.
Barkha, very quickly, Barkha, the doctors will handle it. I have to join another channel. So
I know. Last thought before you go, and then we'll continue the conversation, Dr.
Yeah, the only thought that the only decision is that Mamata Bannerjee has to resign. Enough is enough, and this is not politics. If a chief minister of the state cannot handle her own police, cannot handle her own healthcare, despite holding these two ministries, she has absolutely a woman chief minister who has absolutely no sensitivity towards women being raped over and over again. I look, Barkha, I understand that these kind of incidents might be happening all over India. But the difference is, what is the government doing about it? Why do you have a chief minister who's constantly, trying to normalize this and saying things like, find out whether she was having an affair or whether she was pregnant or not, and now suddenly she changes
Who
her
has said
stance.
that?
And
Who has said that?
the
I
no,
who has said
not
that?
this particular. Mamata Banerjee keeps on saying that. Few months back, there was a rape in Hashkali of a 14-year-old girl, and Mamata Banerjee said that find out whether she was having an affair or whether she was,
She said this.
pregnant.
She said this on
She said this.
record.
I
On
mean,
record.
on
On
record,
record.
on record, on record, on
Okay,
record, on record.
I will have to check this because I'm not aware of this particular
Yeah, on
statement by the
record, and I will
chief
send you the
minister.
link.
Please
And
do,
Barkha, I
please
have
do,
to
please
go
do.
now.
Okay, ma'am, we'll let you go. I'm going to
Thank
continue
you
the
so much.
conversation. Thank you, Dr. Shatarupa. I know you're
Thank
much in demand today. But let me bring in Rim Jim. Let me bring in Rim Jim now. Rim Jim, as a young activist who, in many ways, has been the face of the protests. Today, as a young woman, what do you feel? Through the week, this is the first program where we've actually called politicians, we've actually called political voices. We tried to keep the focus just on what women were feeling, what doctors were feeling, what young men and women were feeling. But now the politics has taken over and it's got all lost in this tutu meme between the TMC versus the opposition. As someone who was literally one of the faces of organizing the Reclaim the Night movement, the attempt by women to reclaim the night went south in a way because the headlines got dominated by the mob attack on the protesting doctors at the Arjikar College. What would you like to say today?
Uh, uh, Firstly, thank you, Barkha, for inviting me. And I would like to take this opportunity to say that every time a common person tries to bring out the piece of information or the kind of struggles that we all go through, it always becomes an issue which is taken up by parliamentary political parties trying to claim who's the best among each of them. If it's under TMC, if it's a government under TMC, it's either CPM or BJP, and if it's under BJP, it's either CPM or TMC. So I think as a common person, I've always seen this happening in any case that I have seen, in any kind of trouble that common people have come up with and tried to address it. So I think that this time also the same thing is happening. The call has been trying to be interpreted, trying to be appropriated by a lot of people on social media, and they might have come to a lot of media as well who have tried to say that this is my call, this is how Rimjim has called me up, Rimjim has called them up, and etc. So I think that rather than focusing on this part of its politicization in the parliamentary domain, we should actually focus on it, on how common people are trying to make up their
I
own politics,
agree.
their own
I agree.
their own
I agree. With,
representation.
I actually agree with you. And this is the first program in I don't even know multiple days where we've actually even contemplated or discussed the politics. So let speak as a young woman making up her own mind about this. Forget the Trinamool Congress and the BJP's arguments or even the left's arguments for a moment. When
Right.
your attempt
So as a
yeah, what do you want to say on that? When your attempt to reclaim the night ends with the place where the rape and murder took place of this young doctor coming under attack from a mob, right? Uh, so look at the irony. Women and men go out to protest sexual violence, and at least a section of them face yet more violence.
Right. So a lot of people came in spontaneously in favor of this call, and they started calling up agitations or protest programs, however we might want to label them, in their own localities. And Arjikor and Shambazar, these two places were pretty close by in Kolkata, and therefore certain programs merged in. I think what I saw as a fact was that usually when political rallies happen in my city, I see a lot of policemen, a lot of police vans around to maintain the situation of law and order, which was somehow missing compared to the mass that was present there. There was at least 10,000 people on the streets in one location where I was present, but I did not see as many police officials in charge for maintaining that law and
Hmm.
order, which was very scary at the end of the day. And the second thing is that I think every time, uh, like I was trying to, represent it, that whenever common people come out with something which is powerful enough to actually question the government or make the government accountable or make the system accountable which is in place, it always gets maligned some or the other way. So I feel like this was one of the same similar instance. I would
Hmm.
not want to go into who actually did that vandalism, because I don't think, as a common person, that is my accountability or something that I'm supposed to say. I'm not in charge of investigation. There are bodies, there are certain committees who would be in charge of that investigation. But I can see a pattern here, which always happens every time the common people comes out to say their mind out. So
Yeah.
I'd like to relate
Um,
it similar.